That's where I want to go. Okay. Hello again, everybody. It's been quite a while. Know that I don't have that many viewers, but I still want to keep sharing this with the people. It's not that much, but it's my experience of the Creatism. A game that I love so much and that I haven't finished, specifically because I have been wanting to keep streaming it through here. It's been a while. I have been made sure to not get spoiled myself, and already Evo happened. I actually tried to Project L. They gave us this little book with some of the motions. It's gonna be fun, to be quite honest. I went with Perry the Gamer. You're gonna be able to find it in his channel. But for now, I just wanted to keep playing this, and since we haven't done this in quite a while, and this game has been a 2-year already, an already 2 years old birthday gift for me, for a game that I love, I think it's about time that I keep going. So, I'm gonna start trying to stream this much more than usual before, and we'll try to finish this as soon as possible, because I really have been taking my sweet old time just playing this and being made fun of by Barry, who was the one who gave me this gift after all. It's very special to me. His attorney, always the greatest. By the way, this is not gonna be streamed because I already have played this before, but the guy actually managed to get me some more Shutakumi games. This year's birthday gifts for me were these two babies. They were a physical edition of Ghost Trick. Should I move it over here? And a physical edition of Apollo Justice. Who knows? I might have some fun with this. But for now, I think it's time that we continue. So, changing camera for the game. I just hope that this keeps going smoothly. And I'm gonna put this. What is this? Oh wait, that's why I cannot. There it is. Just gonna turn on the performance just to make sure that nothing is dropped. This is still the new internet, and it's not the best. So, ooh, already got thrown. Did the stream get frozen itself? No, I did not. That's weird. This computer really is old. Okay. Let's see if, yep, it actually did show me scratching myself. Okay. So, while this is going on, I'm very concerned about the stream actually going correctly. I'm gonna try it, and if something happens, well, tough luck. But for now, let's keep going. So, to make the story short, we actually were allowed to go back into going into law after our license was stripped of us in the first part of the duology. Let's call it that. This is the okay. So now that we're back here, we already examined everything here, and we're gonna go meet our client. Oh, by the way, this is a very interesting case, because we are finally in the great exhibition that they're going to have in London. And in this one, they tried to show a teleporting device, something that I was not expecting, like, at all. But apparently, of course, it died, as it always happens here. Ooh, a new location has been added. Perfect. So right now, Susato is still in Japan. Right now, we need to go to the prosecutor's office and to prison. Okay, let's see. Who should we stick from? Let's go to the prison first. There's our client. looks like a mad scientist, just exactly what I was expecting. Warden said cell 11. That's this one. Oh, there's someone curled up in a ball in the back corner. Look! Yeah, definitely. Most I can do with this computer, better. Oh well. What's his name again? Professor Albert Harebrain, wasn't it? Oh, Harebrain, of course. Excuse me? Professor Harebrain? What voice did I put for this guy again? Might have been something very simple. But he looks like a crazy man, so... I'm gonna do this. Who are you? I'm Rinosuke Naruhodo. I'm a defense lawyer. A lawyer? Was it something I said? A lawyer, you say? Would you be here at... What experiment? Aren't you going to defend my hypothesis? Your hypothesis? Sorry, then. Yesterday's demonstration! That demonstration was the magnificent demonstration was. It was an out-and-out success by anyone's calculations. But despite that, no one listens. No lawyer believes in the science. When it's explained, they all leave at high velocity. Oh my god. Now's probably not a good time to mention that your seal made by my concentration leave for a while too. Microphone is kind of far away from it, so yeah, there it is. Let's converse with this guy. You mentioned the demonstration yesterday. The papers have called it a spectacular failure. After all, a man died in the explosion. Didn't he? Yes, you can interpret the results that way if you really wanted to. Well, I suppose in a strictest sense, the experiment was a failure, but at the same time, it was a great success. You've lost me. I certainly until one eyes. Right in front of me, Mr. Arsman was spontaneously the symbol. Until then, everything was going exactly as my calculation had predicted. At that point, he should have been beamed to the Crystal Tower by instantaneous kinesis. However, the machine exploded and Mr. Arsman in fact perished. Oh, the machine exploded and Mr. Arsman in fact perished? Yes. I can't deny that part of the experiment was a failure. Good, like this might freeze later. So what you're really saying is the large explosion that killed Mr. Arsman was an accident, correct? But the bigwigs had you arrested on suspicion of murder. I was responsible for a man's death. That is the immutable truth here. And for that I wish to be punished. At once. But... Murder? Never in a million years! It was an accident! Simply an accident! I see. Harley and I were talking this morning, you know. He said the situation would change completely depending on whether it was treated as an accident or murder. How exactly? Well, if it really was an accident, then the professor machine would be kept in protective custody. On what grounds? Ah, yes. It's nearly established here in Britain. The Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act. That one passed me by. If the case is treated as murder, then they'll say my machine was the murder weapon, and they'll be able to pour it over it as much as they like.
If they examine it in detail, they'll find out how it's made, and then they'll be able to copy my idea. My precious hypothesis will be stolen. That machine must be protected from that at all costs. That's why it's imperative this whole incident is shown to be an accident in tomorrow's trial.
Ah, I see now. So in short, there was a terrible accident at the Create Exhibition showground yesterday.
Yes! Or rather, no. The devil's in the details. Strictly speaking, there was a terrible explosion.
Sounds the same to me.
You were demonstrating super high voltage instantaneous kinesis, weren't you? How fascinating! Humans, like cold matter, are made up of particles that are held together by electrical bonds. So it must be possible using a sufficiently high voltage to break those bonds and beam the particles through space.
I mean, that makes sense, but not exactly.
That's it in a nutshell. That's my idea, you see, that's my amazing hypothesis.
That's unimaginable high-level science.
Oh, I dare to imagine it. Dare to dream of such incredible technology. Just think, one moment I could be here in this cell, and the next I could be at the Great Exhibition again.
Oh well. Yes, that would be incredible.
And the next, in the mere blink of an eye, I could be at the Great Parisian Theater. Yes! Say! Possibilities are endless. The whole of our vast planet would be within reach!
So, no more hiding wardrobes on rocky seas for 50 days? Of course.
I don't really see it like that.
What do you mean, Iris?
Well, if you could travel anywhere in the world instantly, the planet wouldn't really seem vast anymore, would it? I think it would feel like it had shrunk.
I mean, I get the idea.
My word, that's exactly right. What are the implications? What does this mean? Oops. That's got Professor Bunnybrain really worried by the look of it.
Clearly, this is yet another case of just because you can doesn't mean you should, I suppose.
The point is my calculations are flawless. The science works. But without a practical demonstration, it means nothing. And that's always the fly in the ointment. Because practical demonstrations cost a lot of money. Money that young scientists like you don't have. That's exactly it, yes. Everybody's always complaining about it. He says the government should invest more in science.
Oh, I got scared for a second.
Well, anyway, I bumped into him at the right time. I met the well-known investor, Mr. Assman.
I'm gonna silence the phone because that one got me by surprise. There it is. The victim who died in yesterday's terrible accident, you mean? Yeah, this is not okay.
I found him.
The full name of the man who died in yesterday's accident was Mr. Odie Asman, wasn't it? What exactly was your relationship with the man?
He first visited me in my laboratory in Germany a year ago now. He says he wanted to invest in my immaculate hypothesis. I thank my lucky stars.
I see. So you really hadn't known each other until then?
Money for scientific research. I am so envious. As far as I was concerned, the man was an angel.
Oh, really? Oops.
And now can you believe it? He was prepared to fund a practical demonstration of my hypothesis for presentation at the Great Exhibition. And if that went well, I could expect additional financial support for my research and from the British government. Mr. Asman provided me with money and an exceptional engineer. I produced a machine to my precise specifications. But then your dreams were blown to dust in one enormous explosion. As you can see, I owed everything to Mr. Asman. I would never, ever have thought of taking that man's life.
Well, he seems genuine enough. I don't think he's lying.
Fascinating, yes! In Japan, where
I come from, it's a symbol of a defense lawyer. Wearing it is very brazen, I find.
Your words make some sense to me, but they are entirely illogical.
What do you mean?
Well, for example, I find this white laboratory coat that I want for my work very impressive too. However, in my case, there is a perfectly logical reason for that feeling.
Oh, really? What is it?
I purchased the wrong size by mistake. This one is too small for me. It sleeps especially extremely bracing. I can let me move my wrist.
And I just remembered that I need to post this on... Oh, that's right, I need to change profiles to do this. There it is. Maybe because of the issue we're having trouble with. Oh well! Let's keep it.
It sleeps especially extremely bracing. I can barely move my wrists.
That's what you call logical, is it?
Of course, it's entirely logical. That's science, Mr. Naruholo.
This is important. Let me check. The Reaper attacked. It's the kingpins of the criminal underworld generally managing to escape conviction in the Reaper's trials. And this isn't the first time their henchmen have tried to attack Lord Sixer, so by the sound of it. It makes you think, if that's how the justice system works in London, there must be dark forces at work.
How could this have happened?
You must feel awful as well as a man losing his life. The Crystal Tower was greatly damaged too.
I know what happened. It must have been Dad.
Dad?
The day before the demonstration, I had my usual meal of frankfurters at the hotel restaurant.
With that,
I paid the bill. They gave me 3 shillings too much in change. But instead of saying anything, I just slipped the coins into my pocket. They're still there now. It's the main retribution for my wrongdoing. That's what it is.
for a scientist, he has some very logical anecdotes. Long and illogical. Okay. So, I presented everything to him. But I guess... Let's go to the prosecutor's office. Is it still working? This thing got weird. Did I hear myself? Yeah, I did. Okay, perfect. It's still working. I'm so concerned about this. 22nd October. Prosecutor's office. This place looks huge. Oh! So this is the legendary Reaper's office? Wait a minute, why is she dressed like this? Did I... Did I change the designs of the characters by accident when checking the costumes? Back to title for a second. No, don't save, I already did. Yes, I did. Just gonna check this one because I think that I may have done a mistake. Special contents. No, she's just dressed like that. I kinda forgot about that fact. And I wonder why. That this is the legendary Reaper's office? Yes, it appears so. It sends a chill down your spine, doesn't it? What amazingly deadly atmosphere. Oh, is that? That hooded figure was so still I hadn't noticed his or her presence. Wonder who it is. Feels like it's... What are you doing here? Oh, okay, it's him. Whoa! I'm starting to think about the fact that I don't think I've ever seen him like. What was my vampire voice for this guy? What are you doing? I guess that's gonna sound nice. This isn't welcoming as I thought it'd be. Actually, maybe even more so. Oh, I'm glad to see you're well. I am. So, who's the person over there over by the wall being punished for something or other? No punishment is taking place here. Oh, that's my apprentice, and he's sitting there on his own free will. I didn't know you had an apprentice. It must be the very same person who was pictured in the newspaper. My hand stuck. Is very able in combat. A requisite skill for anyone under my tutelage. You're referring to the attack on the Reaper that was reported in the papers? The Reaper? I'd be interested to know the Reaper's true identity myself. Assuming that is such a fabled fiend genuinely inhabits our great courtrooms. So he doesn't consider himself the Reaper. Yeah, I'm gonna look around your stuff. I'm sorry that I'm doing this in front of you. Look at that fine collection of hallowed chalices and bottles neatly lined up there. My hallowed bottles are filled with the essence of the finest grapes from the finest vineyards I visit. And I personally will see these chalices being made by the finest crystal craftsmen in the world.
And yet you throw them around in court like they were worthless.
Yes, because this imbecile is so unimaginable and repeatedly wide of the mark sometimes. Wide off the mark sometimes. Before you open your mouth next time, you should consider the poor artisans whose works you defile. So it's my fault? Silly me, how could I ever have thought otherwise? Chess! Another chess player! Lorben 6 desk, look, it's so stylish!
And that's marble chess beside it.
Chess? That's the Western version of a Japanese shogi game, isn't it? You know, I'm actually quite good at shogi problems.
Oh, really? You'd probably like chess problems in that case.
I'd love to challenge Lorben 6 sometime. What about of shogi problems?
If you only really wanted to challenge yourself, you can always do that on your own home.
Dear Lorben 6, what the heck is this? That portrait really dominates the room, doesn't it? It's a very majestic outfit and pose, but sadly, we repeatedly didn't do a very good of capturing Lorben 6 facial features.
Yes, you're right. I mean, it's not far off. But the artist has exaggerated his subject's handsomeness, I think.
Ah, that reminds me. I hear Emperor Napoleon of France ordered artists to make him look more attractive when they paint him.
Oh, Bane, that's really not an attractive quality in a person, isn't it?
That portrait does not depict me. Surely that's immediately obvious. Oh, then who is it? That silence was telling.
Oh, look! It's a scale model of the Great Exhibition Showroom!
That's amazing. I wonder why it's here.
Perhaps he made it to take his mind off the sadness of being to visit the tent in person?
Or perhaps he's too embarrassed to queue up for a ticket. Surely it's obvious that I'm using it as an investigative aid. Ah, so you're the prosecutor, of course. You Nipponese have no business of painting others as overly reserved. I really don't think he'd overhear that. What are you talking about? Nothing that we have said has been silent. Although to be quite fair, that's mostly my... Who is this fella? Oh, Barros. Look at all those ancients cast lining the wall there.
That's in the Reaper's chamber? Or are they caskets?
You don't think all those people who escape conviction in court are lying inside them? Do you, dear Lord, Iris' low change of face was hilarious.
What ridiculous notions are going through your head, man? This is my collections of fine vintages.
Oh, yes, of course. Thank you for clearing that up.
Will and I were just musing to ourselves. Don't mind us, Mr. Reaper.
I wouldn't. You hadn't invited yourself to my office to talk nonsense within my earshot.
To be quite fair, we haven't even said hi. And you, who are you? It really looks like a punishment to me.
I've never seen someone singing like that before.
He hasn't moved a muscle since we arrived. Then perhaps he's dead.
If he was dead, he wouldn't be sitting up, would he?
Well, anyway, dead or alive, he's not overly approachable, is he? I don't think he's going to talk to us.
He's not dead.
I've known you've seen this arm around my arm before, but what is it exactly? It's the mark of a defense lawyer, in Japan at least. What's your reason for showing it to a British prosecutor? Oh, well, I don't know really.
I can understand at least. There's merit in reminding yourself of who helped you become what you are today. Oh! But that's a personal matter. Something you may want to keep close at you at all times. Not something to flaunt. No, I suppose not. Thank you for understanding, though. Ooh, I'm gonna share this one. Hmm? This got weird. Okay. I suppose not. Thank you for understanding, though. Lorban 6, about the article in this paper. Ah, yes. It seems there was a reporter nearby when that little skirmish took place. I had no idea I'd been photographed. It was careless of me.
It looks as though it was taken after the people who attacked you had run away, though.
Rest assured, the police have already apprehended every last one of them.
But there's someone else fighting alongside you, it seems. And I think it's the same man who's sitting over there as we speak, isn't it?
As I mentioned already, he's my apprentice.
Perhaps you could tell us a little more about him? Whoa! I think that I should start asking everything about it. Also, I just realized something. I wonder if I can check those little bats. Yeah, I can check the bats! Why did I know? Whoa! That was surprising. They were bats!
Yes, the Reaper's familiars, I expect.
But what about the mute man in the dark cloak? I thought he was a familiar. It's not the flying kind.
He must be a dear friend of Mr. Reaper, then.
I think the familiarity is more likely. Scary though, either way. I was shocked. And that was a one-time animation. That's cool. Oh my god. Okay, let's start. Lord Strongheart said that the assault last night was some sort of revenge act? True. Carried out by henchmen of Ori Esman's criminal organization. The investigation meant their arrests were imminent. Presumably some hope to kill me before that happened. Ori Esman, always masqueraded as one of London's most powerful financiers. A global investor. But his enormous wealth came to him by underhand means, via his criminal activities.
And he used that money to buy himself a verdict of not guilty when he found himself in court, didn't he? Being prosecuted by you, Mr. Reaper.
But the man got his comeuppance in the end. Yesterday, in fact, in extraordinary circumstance. It was a most unusual case cause of death.
I know about that. It was super high voltage instantaneous kinesis gone wrong. Mr. Asman died when the demonstration on the public experimentation stage ended in an enormous explosion.
Correct. I think I have some kind of divine ability to cause an accident like that to happen, do you?
Well, no, that sounds a little bit far-fetched. If this man really is the fabled Reaper, then he has to be an innocent. He has to be innocent of this particular death, at least.
It's a strange how this worked out, isn't it, Bruno? I mean, we
Haven't you taken on the Professor's defenses in the Professor's defense? Professor's defense. There it is. For the trial tomorrow.
What? You're going to be defending him?
Oh, yes, that's right. Though I barely know the man's chat, to be honest.
Albert. Albert Hairbrain.
That's right. Do you know him by any chance?
Of course. He's a contemporary of mine. We were at the university together. Well, at least this finally started working a bit better. Okay. You're...
What? I don't understand that Professor Hairbrain was from Germany, though.
Hairbrain's from a respectable British family. After graduating from the University of London, he moved to Germany to carry out research, that's all.
So you were studying together?
I was in the Faculty of Law, of course. He in science, so our paths rarely crossed. But curiously, we got along, though I've not met him since my university days. Certainly didn't expect our next encounter to take this form. And with you of all people representing him.
Only if I make it out of this officially alive. He's actually been charged with murder, it seems.
Yes, I know, because the prosecution will be handled by me.
By you? But you made it sound as if you and the professor had been friends.
We are friends, it's true.
Then why would you do this?
If the Reaper is the prosecutor, there's nothing anyone can do to save him. He's doomed.
As Lord Van Sink's thinking. What do you mean by what you said before? If you'd like to know the Reaper's true identity, does that mean...
I am a crown prosecutor, and a mortal like any other. I am no demigod.
But they both died, haven't they? The people that you prosecutor, I mean. Whether or not the trial ended in a conviction or an acquittal.
Those I prosecute are the vilest wretches of our society. People who without question deserve to be found guilty. The world's a better place without them.
That's not true of Mr. Natsume, for example. He wasn't a vile witch at all.
That was Ginny. In fact, she's ever so hardworking now.
I can't deny that since I encountered you, things have taken a turn. But the point is this. Any of those vile wretches that escaped justice, subsequently died in mysterious circumstances, was at the hand of their own kind, not my work.
Lord Strongheart said the same. He believes you're not involved in any way.
But you were attacked by those ruffians because they believe it's true.
fact is, since people started calling me the Reaper of the Bailey, the numbers of serious crimes in the capital has dropped substantially. It would appear that even the most hardened criminals can be made fearful for their lives. Do you mean to say... I mean to say that if my pseudonym serves a useful purpose, I adopt it gladly, and with honor.
But that's putting you in danger! You could get killed!
If that is my fate, let God decide.
Lorben 6? I wonder if I can raise a volume of this without actually affecting the microphone. I think that's okay.
It's in my tutelage to become a prosecutor.
Oh, the apprentice, of course.
But you could say he's my apprentice, I suppose.
Ah, like you're the Hurley then, Bruno?
I don't remember taking an apprenticeship with our great detective.
Currently compiling a report about last night's attack.
It looks like he's wearing some kind of mask.
Lord Strongheart's orders. Nobody knows the man's face, or indeed his identity.
But why would you agree to take on such a clearly suspicious individual?
Lord Strongheart's orders again. He's not one for meaningless follies. There will be a good reason for his actions.
I hope you're right. Hi.
Task is complete. Good. In that case, you can collate all the briefs.
Nice to meet you. That was creepy as heck. Back to work again. That was really strange, though. I've never met the man before. I didn't even know he existed, and yet somehow it didn't feel like our first encounter. Could it be? I've seen some art of this game, so I wonder.
Don't bother try to converse with him. He says nothing to anybody from outside this office. Lord Strongheart has strictly forbidden it.
Oh, I see.
Why are you so interested in my apprentice anyway?
No, I mean... Sorry, I didn't mean to. The way he stood there so casually, yet with that flawless posture. It couldn't be.
Ah, yes. There's something I've been meaning to ask you.
Oh, what's that? That Nipponese man. Is he faring well? Sorry?
The one arrested twice in succession 6 months ago, with the stoop and the mustache, and the jitters.
Ah, Mr. Natsume, you mean?
I'm not sure he'd be very pleased to find out you identified him from that lace, Bruno.
He's fine, thank you. In fact, I received a letter from him by international post only the other day.
I see. Well, I think we can end our discussion there, don't you? There's little time left before tomorrow's trial. I advise you to spend it investigating the case.
Yes, thank you for the advice. And for the conversation. I can't believe he's asking after Sasaki-san. After a Nipponese. I'm not sure whether to feel happy about that or worried.
I never imagined that Mr. Reaper would be friends with a mad scientist, did you? That's a turn up for the books.
A mad scientist? Oh, you mean Professor Hairbrain? Yes, it might be worth quizzing the professor about his relationship with Lorben 6, I think. So we have, yeah, there's the masked man. So he's a friend. That's very odd. We cannot check him right now. Okay. Back to prison. Hey, Professor, can you take us about the Reaper? I understand Lord Van Six is a friend of yours from the university days.
Yes, that's right. He was studying law whilst I was studying science.
What was he like back then?
A good question. Unassuming, gentlemanly, and all around nice fellow, really.
What? I think you misheard me. I'm talking about the cold-hearted, merciless prosecutor of Baroque Van Six. What was he like when he was at the university?
Talk about a leading question, Bruno. As I said, an unassuming and extremely pleasant gentleman. After all, he is a little darling of the Van Six family with all its great aristocratic origins. I didn't realize he had such noble blood.
Little darling?
It was a bit of a shock when I came back to Britain and learned what he'd become. The Reaper of the Valley, no less.
Yes, that's right.
I did hear that. But there was a very big event in his life that completely changed him after graduation.
Really? What sort of event? I was about to say talk with Aris because she reacted.
I'm sorry, but I don't know anymore. I wasn't in the country at the time. I was in Germany already.
Oh, yes, of course. I forward this to another conversation here. Chicho, Alexis, Alex, Tres. That's it. I'm okay with it. I just want some people to look at me from time to time. I'm sorry that I want to ask for attention, but I know that I'm not that popular, to be quite honest. If he's heard all about the Reaper, I really don't have the heart to tell him that Lord Van Six will be the prosecutors in court tomorrow. So, Professor, let me just make absolutely sure I understood you properly. The huge explosion that occurred yesterday, that was an accident, you're saying? You had no intention to harm the victim, who was in fact the sole investor in your work, is that correct?
As correct as 2 squared is 4! I swear it! Yes, it's true that the man perished in a machine of my invention. So I know that I'm far from blameless in all this.
Here's your boy! Hello, how you doing today?
So I know I'm far from blameless in all this, but still, I would never use my discoveries, my invention, to take a person's life, not in a centillion years. I'm a man of science, it's all I know. You have to believe me, please. Do you believe me? Do you believe in my hypothesis? Science is the pursuit of the truth, you know. I've always believed that, all my life.
Hi, how you doing? Yes, she is best girl, but she's not in this game. She's still up 4 decades behind. Yeah, I agree with that one.
I'm afraid I
don't know much about science or your theories. But I do believe you, and I will fight to prove your innocence with all my might. I'm a man of the law. It's all I know. You have to believe me, please! Wait a minute, isn't this... Yeah, it's exactly that.
When I went to live in Germany after I graduated, I learned something very, very important. Nationality, class, lineage, none of that matters. As long as you try your hardest, you can achieve anything.
Thank you for that, Professor. Just realized the fact that was very cool.
Thank you in advance. for defending me tomorrow in court. Alright, Runa, it's time! Time to visit the great exhibition!
I feel like she's just excited to go there. Sorry?
Well, that's where the incident happened, isn't it?
Yes, I suppose that's true. Time to investigate it last! Now, experimentation stage. Woohoo! Thanks for coming and seeing me, guys. I really wanted some eyes on me. I know that it's too weird to ask for attention, but I really like this. The showgrounds are a little too big for my liking. We've been walking around in dense crowds for 2 hours now, and I felt myself swooning 3 times. Oh. It tends to fill the crowd too much. Yeah, this always happens. Is that a bot? Yeah, that's a bot. Okay, let's see. I think I'm gonna have to check the sword thingy. How is it that you ban a bot? There it is. Bot banned. There it is. Remember, people, don't use bots. Especially to sell stuff like that. Okay, let's keep it up. Oh. There it is.
There are a lot of people here, aren't there? I've almost been trotted on 3 times too.
Wow. Careful, won't you, Iris? Don't let go of my hand. I mean, I cannot believe that I'm saying this, but Epoch was way better organized than what they're explaining here. Finally made it through the Bronx? Okay, the Bronx though, by the look of it. Here we are, underneath the public experimentation stage where the explosion happened yesterday. That's a big hole! What's that? I can hear voices from up on the stage. It sounds like an argument. What? Gregson?
Right, I'm hiding with you this time. I'm warning you, I'll arrest you in a minute.
Oh yeah? Go on then, Spectre. Give it a shot. You ain't got no evidence and you know it.
Wait, I know those voices.
You got a chicken, little mountain. You're not ready, but a night in the cells will teach you some manners.
Just try it, Adelia. If you want to go back, if you want that bag of chips rammed down your throat. Yoo-hoo! Grexy, what are you doing up there?
And Genie.
It's you! Here! You're here! You are here! You're here! You're Lady Chip!
And that's how you lose him immediately.
How are you, your ladyship? I hope you're well.
I hope you're well, lady! Does that make her 3 times a lady?
I'm not weird at all. It's far to be seen everywhere. I wanted to ride in a building, but there was a 3-hour queue.
Unbelievable! I will have an award for you at once, your ladyship. You'll be flying the sky as a kite in no time once I pull some strings for you.
I really like how dumb this is. Tobias Gregson, an inspector in Scotland Yard. Until recently, he was suspended from duty, but it would appear he's back in action now. He's actually quite well known, appearing as he does in the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. And for that reason, he can say a word wrong to the story's author, Iris. But there are limits, Shirley. Or there should be.
Watch it, sunshine!
Sorry,
What, Gibson? Don't tell me you're on this case.
Yes, I'm acting for the defense.
So we're here to investigate! Yay!
Dear me, that's the situation, is it?
Is it really that troubling?
A measly 5 bob? Is that all you got? You're a lawyer, ain't ya? You could send a bit more copper around you in your pockets, Mr. Naruto.
Oh my god, she's already been pocketing Naruhodo. What? Hey, that's my last bit of coins spending money, that is?
You can have it back, but I'll have to charge you for all the bother, 3 bob.
This is Gina Lestrade, a pickpocket or diver, born and bred in the East End of London. In the case that led to my own suspension 6 months ago, this is a young girl that was offended in court. It looks very cool.
What's your problem, Eldo? Diver? Pickpocket? What's with all the name calling? You want a bag of chips round on your turn at all, do ya?
I thought you were proud to be a diver, Gina. You were just arguing with Inspector Gregson about it, weren't you? Hasn't you been up to your usual tricks here at the showground?
That ain't no way to talk to a lady, Eldo. Half a year's a long time. People can change. I'm an apprentice now. Why don't I be a Scotland Yard detective? So you'll have to call me, but everyone else does. I mean, it's Inspector Lestrade now.
Oh, finally she's an inspector! If I remember correctly, in the original Sherlock Holmes stories, the inspector used to be Lestrade. But Lestrade was a man in those ones, but yeah, this takes some liberties. Inspector? That badge is homemade, surely?
The inspector part is entirely accurate. No one's covered that. For what it's worth, anyway, investigating's off the cards for all of us.
What's that supposed to mean?
Right, well, I'll be back up top. You hold the fort down here, alright?
Right, sir.
This raises a lot of questions! What the heck happened with Gina? Okay, first of all, this is obvious. What is this?
Oh, look what's this! A red piece of cloth?
It's not like any fabric I've ever seen before. I think it's stiff. It looks extremely durable.
It's canvas, I think, with some sort of rubber backing. And the edges appear to be a big chart as well.
Maybe that means it had something to do with the explosion.
Let's make a note of it while Jeannie's Mick John.
I guess that Genie is going to be protecting everything. And like usual, I should give it a look. It looks like layers of thick canvas with a thick rubber lining of sorts. Hello! How you doing tonight? Life is a mystery. You're having the time of your life, aren't you? Never seen anything like it before. I can't imagine as soon as I saw you singing. And I did see your story, so I know that you were having a lot of fun just a bit. I mean, you're still standing. What was the song? I'm still standing. Da 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 da. You know that I don't know the lyrics. Never seen anything like it before. But applying Mr. Sean's methods, you might deduce it was part of a raincoat worn by someone who really didn't want to get wet. And the charring must have occurred when the person was struck by lightning. Or maybe not. You're the nicest guy ever. I hope you enjoy this. Having my fun. For some reason the ground is damaged in this spot. Look! Almost as if there was a fire here or something.
Yes, if you look closely, there's some scattered ash and burned embers too.
Well, I suppose there was a big explosion just above here. People probably wouldn't bat an eyelid at a small fire like this would have been.
I'm not sure we English are quite that laid back, Runa.
Yeah, that makes sense. What is that? That looks like a crossbow.
It looks like as though somebody dropped something behind the tree just here.
Drop or head?
What is this? Some part of the machine that exploded? Maybe. I think it fallen from the platform about in blast, perhaps.
It really...
What's going on here?
Oh, nothing? I think I'll hang on to this just in case. This really looks like a crossbow. There's a lot of stuff to investigate here.
The Crystal Tower. It's certainly an apt name. It was built to be the focal point of the exhibition, and it definitely is being so tall and with all that glass. I can't imagine a building like this ever being erected in Japan. There are lots of exhibits inside the tower as well, apparently. Of course there's an observation deck, but there's also an art gallery, a zoo, and a museum. But I heard you had to queue for 3 hours just to get through the doors.
That sounds annoying. Well, at the moment, the shattered glass from the failed experiment may well be the biggest draw. What is this? Evo 2.0?
And thanks to that accident, the whole tower is shut.
Then it's not the Crystal Tower anymore, but the Crystal Glass Shower. What?
Apparently everyone's stuck into the skies now to look down on the disaster area from above instead. But there's a 3-hour queue to go up in the balloon now.
Oh my god. Londoners must be very patient, people. Okay, so everything here... Check. What is this?
This platform...
It so lines all the way down or up. That's a good one. This platform must have been set up for the experiment, suppose. It's very high up.
About 30 feet above the ground, apparently. That's what a policeman I just spoke to said.
I don't really understand feet very well. We don't use them in Japan.
Ah, yes, sorry. It's about 9 meters. But since you have been in London a year, you know, it's time you got used to your measurements.
I refuse to learn. I refuse to learn imperial measurement grounds.
Yes, well...
The thing is so tall, the spectators at the front would just have seen a wall and nothing else.
They probably thought they'd secure the best spot to watch from, only to be disappointed.
There's a saying in Japan, darkest spot is right under the lighthouse. Just out of curiosity, clack, 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 clack. 9 meters 2 inches. 350. That's... These stairs obviously lead to the stage above. We should go up there and investigate the exact spot where the experiment was being concocted. Freaking Andres. Wait, I moved? Without talking with Gina? Whoops. That was not the plan. So that's it, is it? The machine that blew up.
Oh, it must have been a magnificent explosion. And I've seen my fair share.
You've seen things like this before, you mean?
Of course. Art's always doing experiments that end in the bank. In fact, in his own words, explosions are the very essence of chemistry.
Ah, that man explains the smell of burning that frequently comes wafting off the stairs. William and Turner. Oh my god.
One time he made something that exploded with such force it took the roof off the building.
What the heck?
I wish you'd been there to see it, Runa.
He lives upstairs. I'm pretty sure that he had died. It's hard to get too excited about that, given that I now live in the roof.
Well, anyway, that's enough of that. It's time to investigate.
Gregson is here. He seems to be in deep thought about something, while sighing up the machine carefully.
Really? He just looks confused to me.
I'm gonna go talk with Gina first. Wait. How do I move around? This area is weird. Okay. It ripped itself apart magnificently, didn't it?
Magnificently and mercilessly.
So someone stands in the middle of the machine to be disassembled and then beamed through the air.
Yes, beamed. Not blasted. That's the point.
Yes, that part's crucial, really. It's something like that even possible, Iris?
Oh, Reno, I'm just a child. How should I know?
I mean, you are the biggest scientist in this whole game, and that's saying something. Child with its you mean?
What I can tell, I think if you were to pull this lever here...
Stop! Don't touch that!
That was practical instantaneous kinetics in the way you flew over now, Crexy.
Please, your ladyship, I didn't mean to startle you, but I can't let you touch anything up here.
So sorry. You can have some of my latest special coins to make up for it.
Yeah.
Wonderful. This stuff is really wonderful.
It's just like old times. This is... Well, at least I called his attention. I feel like I sequence broke a lot. Representing Professor Herbin in court tomorrow, Inspector. So we should be allowed to examine this. Examine the scene.
Ha! Listen, Sunshine, even I'm not allowed to touch anything up here. That blasted special dispensation for specific equipment act to blame. It's driven me potty. Potty.
Ah, yes, that special dispensation. The special dispensation. That thing that the professor mentioned, that too.
More red tape's all we need. You know what the government thinks it's plain at some time.
But we're allowed to look, aren't we? Surely that's alright, isn't it, Grexy?
Curse your ladyship, anything you say, your ladyship, but please don't get your dainty hands dirty, will you, ladyship?
Don't worry, we wouldn't dream of touching anything, wouldn't we, Runa?
She really knows how to get what she wants. She is going to grow into a lady. Definitely a lady. I'm just gonna go for a moment and see if I can... No, I cannot. How do I wanna see Gina? Why did I get here before I should have? Okay. Considering how badly damaged everything is, Professor Herbie was lucky to escape unscathed, I'd say. We should have a good look around the machine while we can.
Touch anything, I'm not sure I kill you before I get struck up myself, you hear?
I won't touch anything, I promise, so please, spare a thought for your digestion. Anyway, do you really think this machine could actually disassemble people like the professor claims?
He asked, looking totally incredulous. Give it a rest, Sunshine. If we were allowed to examine all this bleeding scrap metal, maybe we could answer that question. But we can't, can we?
Because of the annoying rules, you mean?
Exactly! They're now in unobstructed flaming rolls!
Oh, look at the base of the machine there.
Yes, if utilities of some kind poking through the wire mesh.
It's a screwdriver, I think?
Oh, isn't it lovely, one? The handle is in the shape of a capital letter A.
It is? Well, yeah, I guess you're right. Is it for Albert?
What's the matter with you? I don't touch anything, I said! Touch anything, I'll make sure I kill it before I get there and strap up myself, I said!
Yes, I understand. Sorry, I don't touch it a tiny bit.
But, Grexy, I'm very curious about this screwdriver. Really, very, very curious.
Of course, your ladyship, give us a flavor, your ladyship, French is spotting something like this. But I'm afraid I can't let you have it.
But Runa found it first.
I assure you I'll investigate it thoroughly.
What is he doing? Going off with it.
That was very mean, I'm afraid. Inspector Gregson is going to make a very clumsy and embarrassing mistake in next month's installment now.
Salute. For Grexy, he's gonna. I really find it funny because she's just deciding by herself that we're going to make fun of the guy. There are all sorts of strange buildings here in the Great Exhibition grounds, aren't there? I seem to remember something similar being exhibited in Japan one time.
Oh, in your country, Reno? I do wish I could go and see it. I present a particular steely samurai with a present of one of Hurley's stories that read especially. And see if I could get Hurley into jam against some Barditsu Master Ninjas.
Oh my god. You might not find as many of those sorts of people around as you think.
Oh, well, that's dull.
He was gonna say B, something with B, but okay. Do I know a Persecutor? Oh, but I do know a Persecutor with a Chonmagi top knot I could introduce you to.
A Chonmagi, really? Do you think I could have my picture taken with him, do you?
Assuming he's recovered from the dream Kazuma gave him a year ago, yes. That's a Ferris wheel. What is that gigantic thing over there? It looks like an enormous water wheel.
Oh, that's a Ferris wheel. There'll be people riding inside those little cabins you can see.
Why?
Well, they rotate nice and slowly, so it's a wonderful way to see the surrounding scenery.
Wait, it's turning? But it looks completely still. Pay attention, Runa.
Yes, that's because it's turning so slowly.
One complete revolution takes about half an hour. Hey, Perry, how would you like to be in the air for half an hour? If you were mad enough to go in one, I would more fun to whiz around fast, don't you think?
I feel as though you might have just invented a new sort of ride there, Runa.
Wait, arrow up. Ooh, cool. Well, those are people carrying balloons dangling silently in the skies over London. I always thought that day would come when humans would discover how to fly, but I never imagined it would involve them being suspended from colorful, floating Temari handballs. Of course, Tamaris.
I'm sure it must feel amazing being up there among the clowns. Let's take a ride together, Runa, please.
If I'm being perfectly honest, I would like to try it. But without our cast iron guarantee that the thing won't plummet to the ground, I'm too scared.
Oh, in that case, I should tell you what Hurley said. It's physically impossible for a flying balloon to plummet into the ground as long as it doesn't explode.
What? Yes, call me crazy, but I think that exploding part might play on my mind a little. And the actual thing. That amazing horn-shaped device is pointing toward the Crystal Tower. I suppose once people are assembled by the machine, they'll shut out that thing to wherever they're going.
I don't think it was supposed to shoot anything, Runa. It was set up to beam people to the Crystal Tower where they'll be reconstructed in their original form.
Teleportation, everybody, in the 18th century. Well, I don't like the look of it. If it was as amazing as it looks, the accident wouldn't have happened in the first place, of course.
I suppose that's true, yes.
But nothing ever goes according to plan, does it? So, Gregson, what do you think about this? This is a symbol of a defense lawyer where I come from, Inspector. Well, it does seem past muster here in London. Might as well chuck it in the deep fat fryer. You really are a fan of fried food, aren't you? No one's ever said that to me before. Mr. Trump suggested that I fit it to a dog, but... At first, you can fit it to me. What the heck? Does it think it's made of potato? Inspector, have you read this paper? Yeah. Two unwelcome blasts back to back. This one not sufficient, and the Reaper's getting attacked.
I know, terrible news to wake up to, wasn't it? I tried to pretend I hadn't read it and turned over for another 40 wins.
Thanks to that, I was laid up and got a roasting from the super.
Is it like a tradition for every single detective in the Ace Attorney series to be dim-witted? Some mornings are like that, aren't they? As a detective, what do you make of this?
Personally speaking,
9 times of 10 I find clues turn out to be red herrings.
there's every chance that's totally irrelevant.
That's actually a fairly persuasive argument. Okay, this one is the same one. So, government policy. Using high voltage electricity to somehow disassemble a man's body and then beam him across to the Crystal Tower. It's an extraordinary thing to attempt, especially in public.
True, that was by far the most initial of the experiments planned before the exhibition, mind.
To be honest, I'm a bit surprised it was allowed. Carrying out something so dangerous with so many spectators present, I mean.
The government's doing everything it can to promote science and technology at the moment. They're more worried about being ahead of the game than an outsport of public safety infringement. They can be the first to develop some new technology that makes Britain more powerful in the future, you see.
Yes, I suppose that's true in a way.
So the powers that be are placing a heavy emphasis on the scientists' rights at the moment.
What sorts of rights?
They're making it so that any theories that the brains have remain their legal property as it were, right through developing it into a practical idea and even going into production. Which is the infuriating reason of scholars aren't allowed to touch this crime scene. There's a new high faculty and special dispensation for its scientific equipment act forbids it.
Oh, I see now.
Only people with permission to investigate here are from some brand new departments at the chart.
Hey Chicho, how you doing tonight? It's very fine to see you today. So, we haven't been talking that much about One Piece as of late, but we definitely should do it. So, the Gucci. That was Spanish, by the way. It was not that I tried to say something in Japanese, because Toro and Gucci sound very funny. But no, yeah, everything's been fine as of late. I'm happy that you're having a bit of a blast here. Been missing you. I don't know if I'll be able to go to Guadalajara in November, by the way. The expenses from Evo were vastly bigger than I expected, so I'm gonna be in recovery for a bit. I hope you can understand that. But if I can... Shingakuchi. But let's see what happens, okay? Hopefully I can have some fun. Evo was good, but Evo was expensive. Also RE15. I'll have to tell you that one in another chance I have. But I have the feeling that Barry here is gonna be making a video or so about the whole experience, and we have quite a lot of videos to work on with that. Wait for that one, and remember, you can find me on this channel as Shingo, but you can find him as an Imperi the Gamer Mix. I'm his editor, I'm a streamer as well, but I just stream much more rare than he does. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna tell you everything on Evo once I have the chance. And he will. And we will. God, I definitely don't think that it would be that, because I definitely didn't parry all those expenses. But then again, I was watching Retro's posts on the matter as well. His wallet is also in live support after this. The forensic investigation team is called.
The forensic investigation team is called. We've been relegated to keeping guard.
The forensic investigation team.
Any old fool can see that this heap of scrap metal was a sham to begin with. Just because it says scientific equipment on the paperwork, we can do a flaming thing about it.
Poor Crexy. He's very heated up, isn't he?
Special dispensation.
Remind me again, what's this new legal act that means we're not allowed to touch the scene here?
Are you having me added Sunshine in the Special Dispensation for the Scientific Equipment Act?
That's very hard to say.
Yes, I think Hurley mentioned it that recently. With a real twinkle in his eye, as I remember.
I'm sure he did, your ladyship. I'm sure he did. But especially for this grand exhibition, it was. All scientists have to do is present their ideas or invention to some suits in the civil service, and if it gets rubber stamped, there's a guarantee of rights to maintain the invention's confidentiality.
What does that really mean?
Think about it. Think of all the world changes new invention on display every day at this exhibition. Although a good half of them are a lot of cobblers, if you ask me, put forward by shammers like yourself.
Thanks for that.
Oh, I love how absurd some of the inventions here are. It's all so fun!
It might be fun to you, but a member of the floor has to be present at every single demonstration. You're imaginary? I'm science, that's what I say!
Oh my god.
Oh, I don't think so. That sounds like my dream job.
You'd soon think otherwise after spending a day guarding all these shammers' bogus contraption.
But if they're all bogus, how can anyone hope to demonstrate them? There'd be no point.
Yeah, well, there is a point, sadly.
Sorry?
Thanks to another of our government's bright ideas. Any theory invention is deemed to show potential. The government hands out a special grant.
The scientists get funding?
Exactly. That's what they're all after. All the shammers coming from far and wide to club up Hyde Park. Oh, and who has to keep them all safe, huh? Who has to smile politely and welcome them? Us, Copper, that's who. You can see why I say it now, can't you? Honk Sawyer sang it!
Oh! Maybe I can see your point.
Apparently Professor Hairbrain lives and works in Germany now conducting his research.
That's right. Came back to Britain, especially for the Great Exhibition, as I understand it.
Well, probably after one of the government's research grants. Actually, we learned something else about the professor earlier today. About his time in further education, it turns out he was at university with someone we both know. I bit my tongue. Lorben 6.
Hey! What's that? That's news to me! But if Bang 6 means months of persecution, then as the accused, the professor's fate is...
Healed? Because the Reaper will get him one way or another?
I mean, that must be beyond me. I don't know what goes in that head of his. Talking of Bang 6, this morning's paper ran the story of him being attacked. Read that?
Oh yes, but Mr. Reaper is completely fine. Nothing to worry about.
Yes, that's right. Glad to hear it. Hail the Reaper, huh? How long's that business gonna keep up, I wonder?
The Mystery of the Reaper, that's a good one. The victim of this case, the investor Mr. Asman. He was another of the Reaper's victims, or so I heard.
Lord Baron Pan 6 is a top-class prosecutor, but even he can always push the right verdict through. Sometimes justice can't win.
Yes, I've heard about jurors being bribed and evidence being falsified. And that's how the notion of the Reaper really came about, isn't it?
Obviously, Scotland Yard suspected Pan 6 initially. We all assumed he was taking matters into his own hands if he failed to seal the deal in court.
Although the man himself denies the charge.
Well, we've done a very thorough investigation, and the conclusion we reached is that Lorben 6 is in no way related to the deaths of those people outside the courtroom. There's no question in my mind. I'd stake my reputation on it, I would.
But if that's true, then how do you explain it? All those defendants couldn't just have coincidentally died if nobody killed them?
I know that, but I can't explain it. It's a mystery after all, isn't it? That's the whole point of the Reaper.
Professor Hairbrain mentioned something else. He said that at the university, Lorben 6 was a totally different person, easygoing and kind.
You what?
He said that it was after they both graduated that something happened to change the man. Do you have any idea what it was?
No clue.
Really?
Look, I've gotten my hands full watching over this frustrating crime scene. Why don't you go and make a nuisance of yourself as well, huh?
Okay. Not much I can do then. I'm gonna try to go downstairs or something. But since I couldn't do it like this, maybe this works. Now let's talk with Gina, finally. Now, about Gina. It was 8 months ago now that I first encountered Gina, in connection with a case I was working on. At the time, she was living in the East End with a group of other orphans. She helped all of them survive by pickpocketing. Then she got embroiled in a murder. Oh my god, that was a good one. That case was a good one. I had a lot of time to think and prison. I realized I couldn't go on like I was. The diving weren't working out. Oh, I'm so pleased to hear that, Jeannie. Well done. So, you went from being a pickpocket to a detective? You got it. Good, ain't it? Inspector Lestrade. Sound like something out of a book, huh? I see what you did there. Talk about sea change. And then there's Cyrus, old man to think about. Iris Fighter, you mean? Yeah, I promised her, didn't I? I said I'd get all the police forces around the world to pull out all the stops looking for him. Just a small promise then, nothing serious. Oh, Jeannie, you're so sweet. So anyway, that's how I come at a go at the test force. Dear Lord, that's a hard one. Her accent is very difficult. So anyway, that's all I come at the go at the test for Scotland Yard. Well, the trouble is I don't read so well, do I? Just a small problem, nothing serious. And that's when Hurley approached Grexy and asked for help. But the inspector said he'd take full responsibility for Jeannie and made her sort of apprentice. That was very magnanimous on Inspector Gregson. And brave. Well, you know Hurley, he enjoys finding him ways to make people do what he wants. Just like you, isn't it, Iris? The great detective likes taking for dirt, in other words. So, the long and the short of it is, if you've got questions about the case, you can ask Inspector Lestrade. Right then, Inspector. Actually, there's still a big mystery surrounding Gina, isn't there? Oh, what we know what? Well, 6 months ago, Gina was the defendant in a trial prosecuted by the Reaper. Trial in which she was found not guilty. And yet here she is still... Come on, you're not still on about that, are ya? Billy and the Reaper or whatever it's called? Car, you don't have worry, Ada. If I didn't have worry, there probably wouldn't be a whole lot of your left. It's like I told you before, innit? The Reaper's kind of like him upstairs. Like him upstairs. So he knows what I'm like on the inside. But I ain't really done nothing wrong. Him upstairs means God in this case, right? Nothing wrong might be stretching a point. What about Mr. Natsumi Japan? He's perfectly fine, isn't he? Well, that's true. Perhaps the Reaper is more discerning than I thought. Exactly. So I didn't worry. I'm totally fine. Corey was out this world it was. The brainy bloke pulled a bunch of levers on his machine and suddenly it started billowing smoke. Then it was just one pop. I should have better experiment in jet. Sorry? You mean you saw it, Ginny? With your own eyes? Yeah, of course. The boss in charge here, ain't he? Of keeping everything running smooth, I mean. Boss being Inspector Gregson, I suppose. That's going to take some getting used to. So all I have to say is that I'm on duty, and I can do whatever I want. Get this! I was up in one of them flying balloons when it happened, watching it from above. Oh, you're so lucky, Jimmy! Maybe I should also join Scotland Yard. Yeah,
not do it! You know how to put the boss in his place already, right, Iris? You have no trouble at all. Then it settles. Where do I start? No. You just can't join the Scotland Yard, Iris. I will see anyway. What I don't understand is this. If this machine exploded so spectacularly, how can Professor Bunnybrain still be claiming that his experiment was a success? Oh, right. Well, it was a success in a way. It was? How? Sure, after the whole machine blew up, no one could call the experiment a success. Like I said, it did sort of work. I mean, yeah, there was a lot of smoke and the whopping great bang. But where do you think they found the victim's body, yeah? And the crystal tower over there.
What the heck? In the tower?
You can see for yourself, can ya? Up there at above the scaffold? Oh, where all the curse is broken, you mean? Yeah, the guys what the victim got in to start with? Well, it got in through the air or whatever and landed all the way over there. So you see, that kind of worked, didn't it?
What?
I don't believe it. I mean, I don't get the ins and outs of it, but anything's possible, right? With science. And I tell you what, you can have this. It's a plan of experiments that they rub a jar.
Are you sure?
Yeah, go on. I had 3 Baba Fia before the first pair. Yes, I didn't actually give that to you, did I? Let's check them out. Actually, we got to check the mysterious contraption. And it really feels like it's a freaking... crossbow. There's some sort of lever here. It is a crossbow! I knew it! What the... What's this? It looks like a cross between a bow and a gun. I think it's probably used for the same thing too. Crossbow. What is a crossbow doing here? This group here must be where the arrows are lowered, I suppose. That was right, it's sort of a bow with an automatic firing mechanism. This will be perfect for someone like me who catches his ear with the bowstrings 2 times out of 3. In fact, if I had one of these, maybe I could have beaten Castlemaine Kyoto archery training. Where's your mind focusing, man? It looks like you want to win this around in order to throw the bowstring back and create tension. You must be able to fire arrows with a huge amount of forces in this biathlon. In fact, I would imagine it's far more accurate and powerful than Japanese longbow. Oh, I really had no idea what I was speaking when I spotted this at the exhibition grounds. Is there something below? This is very surprising. Also, why are there gears in there? Something Inspector Gregson said before seemed a little strange.
For what is worth anyway, restaurants
Of the cars for all of us.
Yes, naughty old Grexy ran off after that without explaining himself.
Oh yeah, my sequence broke because this is clearly the 3D thing.
Oh, right there.
The boss said no one's allowed to investigate that weird machine what blew up yesterday.
Well, that's not fair. We represented the defendant.
In that case, could you at least tell us what you've learned from your investigations? No, you're not getting it. I'm not allowed to investigate it neither.
Why?
What did the boss call him again? The forensic investigation team, I think. Anyway, apart from them lot, no one's allowed to left finger on this thing. It's funny, ain't it? So even Scotland Yard sound detectives can investigate? Yeah, I never heard of anything like that before. I thought I could have a gun there in the quiet though, but the boss got me at it. You probably ended up giving me an earful about it before from down here, didn't you? It's not bleeding fair. I think you were giving him as much of an earful back then, if I remember. Yeah, well, some think it's all them chips won't make him so stubborn. You say something to him, Naruto. Go on, see if you can get through him. Up on the platform above us, is it? Or the machine that exploded is? We can try, can we, Runa? Perhaps he will listen to us. Well, he already explained a bit. I'm just gonna show you my stuff. Ceremony is proof in Japan, at least, that I'm a defense lawyer. And this badge is proof that I'm a detective. So you're gonna have to start calling me Inspector Lestrade. In that case, you'll have to start calling me... well, anything but Otto. I could call you Defender Nara Otto if you like. But it don't really trip up the tongue. No, it doesn't have a great ring to it. Gina, would you take a look at... oh, where did it go? Looking for this, Otto. When did you do that? I wonder if you got anything else to show me, huh? What you reckon? Give that back first, please. Always a diver. Okay, it's the same thing. Same thing with the crossbow. I cannot believe that I can show her a crossbow. And yeah, everything is the same. So I'm gonna check this thing. This is not exactly that big of a deal. Also, this tower really looks like the Eiffel Tower. They really were trying to replicate that. Ah, right. So, Gregson, do you know anything about this crossbow? No. What about this map? No, not really. Okay. If you don't have any more dialogue, I'm gonna go back to somewhere else. Maybe the prison. Oh, he's gone. Really? I seems to have an idea. Wait. Oh, whoops. Check. Whoa, there's another one. I've been meaning to ask you for a while now, but what are those funny round blobs floating in the sky? Oh, they're flying balloons I've been talking about. I went to go being wine so much. I've read about situations like this in a magazine about strange phenomena. Creatures from outer space coming in round flying objects to attack Earth. What? I suppose inhabitants of other planets are bound to be interested in the Great Exhibition, and they... Dear Lord, Ryunosuke really is as much of a nerve as I am. This is it, Iris, it's happening! It's not. Don't worry. I'll explain it all to you later over a nice cup of tea, Bruno. This is the part that I was missing. That's where the Cove ended up after his instant kinesis, or whatever they call it. The other guys. And yet they're calling the experiment success? What's the wooden scaffold there for? The coppers, or Lord set that up after the incident happened. To get the body down, I think. But not really. Didn't you help to erect the scaffold then? Nah, look how Duty's more my thing. Wander around the exhibition and keeping a lookout for the fun stuff. And Gregson doesn't hear you saying that or he'll give you the boats. It's incredible though, isn't it? I mean, could the victim really have reached that gap by some sort of invisible kinesis? That was what I was missing? Okay, cool. Bruno, listen! What is it? I've been thinking. Well, I might know something, Maniki? About what? About Mr. Ripper! About what happened to Lord Ben 6, you mean? Because it sounds like something very significant occurred after he graduated from university. Something that completely changed his life.
Maybe, but I have no idea where to find Mr. Shonks at the moment. He's in the middle of some big case, isn't he?
Here, this is what you need.
Madame Tuspells? What? Some kind of entrance ticket? Madame Tuspells? Is this supposed to mean something to me?
You don't know it? It's the most popular attraction in London at the moment. It's very close to Baker Street, actually. We could go now if you like.
No, we don't have time for visiting attractions today, Aries. We have a big trial tomorrow.
But that's where Hurley is.
What? This popular London attraction?
Yes!
Who is it that you know where he is?
Hurley told me, but he told me to keep it a secret from you, Runa.
Madame Tuspells? Wait, a secret? I don't see how it could relate to the case we're investigating here, but then... stranger things have happened. And when they happen, Mr. Shums is usually at the heart of them. That is a good point. Did I get the ticket? No, I didn't. A museum of interesting waxwork exhibits not far from Baker Street. It's become a very popular London attraction in recent years. This is where it really is. I really like those emotes. Animated emotes. I wonder if we can do something like that for your channel. We'll try it later. Whoa! What is this place? Look at all these terrifying scenes. But why are all the people so still? Guillotines, ruthless murderers. You know what I'll be dreaming about tonight.
They're all wax models. They're amazingly realistic, aren't they? What do you think, Runa? Shocked?
Wax models? I heard about the bodies and Wadsworths in a magazine about strange phenomena. Depending on how the corpses are kept after death, parts of them can turn to wax apparently. It's called a deposeer. I wonder if I said it correctly. I have never heard the word.
Stop talking about creepy things like that, Runa. You're scaring me. Anyway, a deposeer doesn't form readily, you know. It's only a very specific...
Ah! What now? I just remember something else I read in another magazine about strange phenomena. There was an old lady, maybe a witch, who used to pour molten wax over corpses and put them on this place. Oh god, that actually sounds horrible.
None of the exhibits in here are real. They're all entirely man-made replicas.
Amazing statues. They can be. Do you really expect me to believe that? Just look at them.
Oh.
There's no way anybody could make models of people that are this realistic. Wait. What the heck? What the heck, Herlock? And there are such gruesome scenes. Wait.
Where is it?
No. I must be seeing things. I wonder if that's a corpse. Let's leave the best for last. And I mean, Herlock. All of this is one thing. Is this some famous murderer?
Yes. Old Jane the Reaper. All her victims were young women.
So this is Jack the Ripper. I knew it. You can tell this by the way she's holding that knife. Sure sign of a murderer.
Well, yes. What's the matter, Runa?
Work it out! I know what she's doing! She's trying to fill that bathtub with blood so she can have a soaking her victim score.
Not according to the information about the tips on the little board there. It doesn't mention anything about the bathtub.
Really?
Sorry, I don't think it's significant.
I still think it has to be there for a reason. Actually, yeah, why is the bathtub there? These models are so well made I can tell what's a waxwork and what's a real human.
Or maybe all the exhibits are real people. And when it's closing time and all the visitors have gone home, they suddenly start moving about.
What is this, Gravity Falls? Just thinking about it makes me wish it was closing time already and I was on my way home. That big heavy curtain is in a very prominent position, isn't it? A nasty feeling there's going to be something really terrifying behind it.
Oh yes, that's the famous Dustbill special exhibit. It depicts one of England's most notorious killers. Do you want to pay the extra fee and have a look?
Pay more money to be more terrified? Oh, let me think about it for a moment. No!
It was only a suggestion.
This thing is the thing that got me confused. Is that a real hand? Is this an arm?
It looks like an arm, doesn't it? Maybe one of the Wadsworth models has fallen over.
You don't think it could be the work of one of the mass murderers in here, do you?
Oh no, stop scaring me!
Is it a Watts arm or a real one?
Come on, you're always pointing that finger of yours in court. Put that arm now and see how it feels.
Objection! I have the feeling that this is actually gonna be a real corpse, and that's very terrifying. Is this an example of Western Tsujigiri? Tsujigiri?
I don't know what that is.
You know, when an unscrupulous samurai randomly attacks a passerby to test his sword.
I still don't know now. But actually, a Wadsworth samurai would probably be hugely popular. Could you model it, though, you think, Bruno? Doing that Tsujigiri thing you mentioned?
Wait, is this what happened in that one episode of Rurouni Kenshin? There was this one episode in Rurouni Kenshin where they were trying a sword to see how it killed people. Well, I do have a sword, but I'm not intention of testing how sharp it is on a human subject. For now, at least. And now, hey, Hairlock, wake up! It's the Great Detective, Mr. Hairlock Sholmes. Mr. Sholmes has his own wax statue in here? Really? God, those emotes.
Well, he's world famous after all.
It's an uncanny resemblance, isn't it? It makes my skin crawl to look at it. You know what? I'm gonna put my own as well, just because I really like these moving emotes. Let's see, where's the dancing Javi? There it is. Just because of the fun.
I know! But look, Bruno, you can kick this Hurley and he doesn't move muscle.
You can go around kicking Civis. Wait. When did this happen? It just moved, I'm sure. And not just a little bit either.
Really? Did it?
And look closely. There are beds of sweat on the face of this waxwork model. Shall we move on, Iris? Over there, look. There's a great murder scene to enjoy. Much more appealing! My dear fellow, I take exception to your counsel in such manner as if I'd seen something truly aberrant. Mr. Sholmes, I knew it. Iris, what possessed you? I was looking for revenge from divulging my temporary waxwork secret to Mr. Naruhodo. Temporary waxwork? What do you mean? And the cake, could you not have exercised a little more restraint? You winded me!
Albrina has something he needs to ask you.
Ah, a question?
I thought you'd probably be getting bored too. So here we are!
Well, I can't deny that your timing was impeccable. A mere 2 minutes more being stationary like that, and my great brain upon which all my successes have been built would have turned to wax.
Thank goodness we arrive in time.
Indeed, in many ways, the pair of you just saved the world from an unimaginable loss.
Oh, Hurley, you like to talk nonsense, don't you?
He could know something, it's true. About Lord Van Six and what happened in the past to change him.
Now that you're here, let's take our time. How can be of assistance? For you're in luck! I'm certainly quite taken with the idea of conversing.
Oh, well, actually, I'm in quite a hurry.
And if my eyes don't deceive me, I believe something is afoot within the walls of this very museum. Most fascinating case, if I'm not mistaken.
Really?
Moreover, I have a strong suspicion that it's related to the matter about which you've come to me now.
But how could it be?
We shall speak again presently, my dear fellow. But for now, I must return to my work.
What? Back to being a temporary waxwork exhibit? What is this place?
Madame Tonspels came to London from France 3 years ago, I understand. Since she opened his little waxwork museum this year, it's enjoyed great popularity in London.
There are museums like this in Japan too, but this place are something else. I mean, they aren't made from actual real people, are they?
The extreme realism of this waxwork model is a particular secret of the Tonspels family, they say. They earned renown during the French Revolution for waxworks of victims since the guillotine. That sounds grim. 3 gruesome scenes were portrayed with such realism in the expression of the faces and of the condemned.
Apparently, the sculptures would make the models directly from the corpses right there at the site of the executions.
What? That really turns my stomach.
That's just one of the several legends about the Tonspels family, whether there's any truth in it, I couldn't say! But anyway, this museum houses models of famous people from all over the globe. Nevertheless, the most popular area of the museum by quite some margin is this House of Horrors.
House of Horrors?
Of course, visitor numbers are greatly now as a result of great exhibits. But people usually flock here to see the exhibits of some of London's most vile criminals at their gruesome work.
I feel like I'm speaking so fast and so trying to say words so fast that I'm having some trouble, you know, like I'm tripping over my own words, man.
Naturally, most of the miscreants portrayed here were sent to the gallows. Though they're even stiffer now than the most of the models of them.
Have you heard of Poor Taste?
My dear fellow, the public live for poor taste! Yay! They dare to be shocked!
So the hideous exhibits in here are...
There are portrayals of real events that actually took place.
Is it just me, or did the temperature in here just seem to drop? Anyway, I advise you not to think too deeply about what you see here.
Oh! He's back to being a waxwork, is he? I wonder, did I already show you this before? Mr. Sholmes about this?
As you will see, I'm rather busy at the moment. But as you say, come to my office tomorrow and I shall be happy to help you. Shall we say, propens per item as a consultation fee?
That's 2 hours of gas, that is. Mr. Sholmes, would you like to have a look at this newspaper?
You've been into my room and helped yourself, have you?
Let's not turn this into a scandal, shall we?
Well, considering I've already read it, one thing immediately strikes me. This paper just old news. Huh? What possessed you to show me this? What stone is done? You must distinguish, my dear fellow. Distinguish the old from the new. There are some conversations you wish you never started. Mr. Shows about... Okay, it's the same one. Do you know anything about the crossbow? Nope. And I'm pretty sure that you're not gonna know anything about the map, so I'm not even gonna bother. That's just a loss of time. What do you mean by a temporary watch score, Mr. Jones? Exactly what you see. Part of the exhibits here, catching these criminals in the act. Catching them? Every half an hour I home in on the killer in one of the displays and adopt a new pose to snare him. When members of the public come for a closer look, I offer them my hand to shake. For a shilling, I'll happily allow them to take a photograph with us. Us? Does he mean him and the Waxwork murderers in here? But why, Mr. Jones? My dear fella, isn't it obvious? For the money! Yeah, I agree. He really roared at me there, very fitting for the House of Horrors. As it stands, I might struggle to pay this month's rent. I have the ravenous iris to consider. The ravenous.
Oh, Hurley, I'm so hungry.
If push comes to shove, I shall have to ask you to your bed, Mr. Naruto. What's he threatening me to rope me into now? So, with that in mind, how about a photograph? As a special treat, you may have your pick of the murders and scholars in here. The choice is yours. Maybe some other time. Remember, Mr. Naruto, ignore me at your peril. Okay, back to being a Waxwork again. Is it just me? Or did his final remarks sound like a lot like... Finally, the important bit. Well, what did you like to ask me then? Actually, it's... about Lord 6. Our friend Mr. Ripper. Did you find him well, I trust? And so I filled Mr. Jones in about everything I learned. About Lord 6. About Professor Herving. About the strange coincidence that they had been at the university together. And so I'm wondering what it was that happened to make Lord 6 such a different person.
I was sure you'd know, Hurley.
You said there was something going on here in this exhibit hall before. That something was afoot. And that you believe it was related to what I wanted to ask you about. Mr. Jones? He suddenly clammed up. Well, seems you've reached an about... Greetings. Holy! Hello? Where did she appear from? Oh wait, she comes from France. Can I make a French accent? What's she wearing? Did she look any more mysterious? I hope you're appreciating my museum. I hope. No, I hope. Of course not!
I hope you are appreciating my museum.
I wonder. Okay, so I actually make it sound perfect. Sorry, have we... Mr. Shum, do you know that... Not again.
My apologies. I am Esmeralda to Spells. This is my museum of Waxwork.
What? You're done? You're the Madame to Spells?
And so, though only 26 years young, I might add.
That's gonna be hard. Is that significant somehow? I am a madame in name only. It has a certain je ne sais quoi. Right. Firstly, I must apologize for my waxwork. Or rather, one waxwork in particular.
That'll be Mr. Sholmes then.
I was led to believe he was a great detective, but he seems unable to settle.
Yeah.
Next time you move from your designated exhibit, we'll be toil and trouble.
She sounds deadly serious. That's a problem. How am I supposed to ask Mr. Sholmes about Lord Van 6 now?
Let's not forget what Hurley said before. But something being afoot right here in the museum, I mean.
Yes, I know, but
I'm so curious, I want to know what's happening here.
we've got enough on our plate already. Armbad? Madame, there's something I'd like to show you.
Yes, what is that? I'm not gonna do it myself immediately and invent very curious things.
Oh wait, I accidentally doing Gina's accent on a sweet voice.
Je ne sais quoi.
There it is.
Yes, what is that? I'm not doing it myself immediately and I've been very curious things.
Well, it's actually the mark of a defense lawyer in the Empire of Japan.
Oh, well, the mash. Not quite as interesting as I thought.
What exactly were you expecting from an airband? Could I show you this?
Oh, how fascinating. This is made of wax.
No, sorry. It's a piece of evidence.
Why would you want to show me this?
You can only wax lyrical about wax, is that it? Blah 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 blah. And pretty sure that's it, because this is definitely not something that's... Did you make all these waxworks, Madame Tuspels?
I did. I am the third generation of waxwork artisans, you know. Gosh! It was my grandmother who began the tradition in my family. Her fortunes were checkered, living through the turbulent times of the French Revolution as she did. But that is, when she acquired the savoir-faire that leads to the astonishing life-likeness. All these waxworks really did look as though they were alive. In fact, they look more alive than Hurley. What you see exhibited here represents the most atrocious of London's criminals past. All the waxwork were created in the presence of the real people on which they were modeled. In the hours immediately following their execution. That is the secret of the extraordinary life-likeness.
That sounds terrifying.
All walks of life have similar challenges, I'm sure. To carry out one's trade per excellence, one must go to extraordinary lengths. My exhibits are a reflection of society. I create only that which the public wishes to see.
Why couldn't the public have wished for something less horrifying?
You're not there?
Sorry?
This room is the only one in the museum with such a macabre thing. I hope you'll explore. There are models of famous singers, actors, politicians. Something for every taste, I hope.
Well, it kinda was Iris who dragged me straight in here, come to think of it.
Sorry, perhaps I should have eased you into things.
What's the situation with that?
Ah, my temporary waxwork model. They approached me some days ago, you see, with a business proposal.
Oh, what sort of proposal?
I didn't met him. What this Spurs exhibits me is the edition of the world-famous Great Detective. Or worse to that effect.
Huh.
Naturally, I am well aware that Mr. Saunders Wyvern in London is a talented detective.
It's Great Detective, actually. He's very specific about it.
Yes, the creme de la creme. So I was keen to come to some arrangement with him, of course. But sadly, we were unable to agree terms.
Let me guess. Someone wanted to charge an exorbitant price for his services.
For a mere £500, I will dive into your cauldron of wax this very moment.
What?
Or worse to that effect.
Mr. Shaw have overdone it slightly with their sales pitch.
Regrettably, the museum has a shortage of funds at the moment, due to unforeseen circumstances. So we came to the current arrangement instead.
Surely he doesn't really need to do what he's doing though, does he?
I wouldn't think not, but he was very insistent.
I have 50 shilling problem.
That must be resolved by the morning. Or, you know, worse to the effect, third time the channel. It's the pawnbroker, that's what it is. He must have something to redeem.
Is the consultant detective work not doing so well? I wonder,
did he ask you something? Been so.
I'm just curious. Is there anything going on in the museum at the moment? Some kind of incident, perhaps?
Whoever suggested such a thing to you?
Oh well, it was your temporary wax war over there who mentioned it to me.
He's gone now.
He's disappeared.
A wax model is a work of art, not some tawdry object for trade.
Oh! There you are!
Leaving the table again when you should be working. Do you wish to be melted down?
My dear madam, to spell, save your reprimands. There are more pressing concerns.
The wax can wait. It's our ideas about your current problem we must throw into the melting pot instead. Personally, I would advise you not to involve the police. Why ever not?
He's turned as white as a sheet.
Because you have at your disposal a great detective, whose services you may employ for a mere 50 shillings. So please be aware that I prefer. No, I insist upon payment in advance. Very well. Let us see if the great detective is able to live up to his name, shall we? Before I engage in my analytical process, I must ask you to clarify something. What, pray, is behind the curtain? That is the Dustbelt special exhibit. There's an extra chair to sit. Ah, the special exhibit in the House of Horrors. Must depict the special killer then, I presume. Would you be so kind as to draw back the curtain, I wonder? Absolutely none! There is nothing amiss behind that. Nothing amiss, madame? What about the arm protruding ominously from under the curtain? I strongly encourage you to allow me to see what lies beyond before the situation worsens. Very well then. I'll draw back the curtains, but only subcon. A subson. Must confess, I peeked behind the curtain earlier. The Toastmaster special exhibits a very bleak graveyard scene indeed. And somewhat surprisingly, the Wadsworth killer one would expect is nowhere to be seen. What does strike one, however?
Wait!
The portly gentleman lies peacefully on his back on the floor.
This was one of the juries from the first game.
Well, then perhaps Mr. Sholmes, that man on the floor, is the ruthless killer himself. Afraid not, my dear fellow. He's a perfectly ordinary London gentleman, not even a waxwork, in fact.
What?
As skillfully made as these waxworks are, they're always distinguishable from real humans. So allow me to present my two conclusions. First, that sizable business transaction has been taking place in this special exhibit. What? Why would you say that? And the second is that the aforementioned transaction is linked to a serious crime. She looks as pale as a candle wax. I don't understand. So, Madame Tuspels, as you agreed to my fee, I'll now have the pleasure of seeing this famous and great detective and temporary exhibit at work. The Great Deduction! Yes! I love this! Whoa! To begin with, we must ask ourselves what exactly is afoot here in the museum. The answer is revealed by the bundle of banknotes protruding so helpfully from your back. Ow! 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 In my estimation, some, 200 pounds. But that is all my own money! So what does this large sum of money reveal? He's looking left. Right. Ah, not as much as an involuntary glance you cast, it would seem, Madame Tuspels. Yes, the answer lies where your eyes now fall. The significance of the 200 pounds is revealed by the public notice.
What is the man?
Waxwork for sale. Your business has hit hard times, it would seem. In short, you sold the infamous killer, the centerpiece of your special exhibit, for the sum of 200 pounds. None! Now, let's explore the next curiosity with which we are presented. Who is this portly gentleman stretched out so peaceful on the floor? It would appear the man has suffered a severe shock, because of which is clearly known to you. Oh. Unfortunately, madame, keeping secret does not appear to be your forte. What dealt the man such a shocking blow was of course the 200 pounds. Really?
These are swords.
It appears that you twisted this gentleman around your little finger most effectively. What are you suggesting? He rashly agreed to purchase the waxwork for the sum of 200 pounds. Only when he came to hand the money over, did I record to him what an extortionate amount he was paying. The money was no longer in his hands. And the result, the scene we see before us. He collapsed in shock. Yes, the killers in this special exhibit fetch a killer prize. We can only pray that the gentleman's dreams are not plagued with regret.
Sold for cash. Really?
The question that arises then is, what has become of the waxwork that changed hands? Let us consider the problem for a moment. You cannot possibly. Wait, you cannot possibly. What immediately strikes me about this conundrum is the young man standing over there. Who is this fellow? To find the answer, we need only to observe his neckerchief.
This person has a bit more color. Is he alive?
Such as is worn by policemen as a secret sign to fellow members of the force that a crime is being perpetrated. Yes, this young man is an undercover policeman currently investigating this museum. I know him well, in fact. It's Sergeant John Clay.
I'm gonna say it. If this person turns out to be a real man, he's totally named John Clay.
What are you talking about? This man's quite a celebrity. He received triple accolades at last year's Policing Awards. But... And next we turn our attention to the old man sat before him with a particularly instantly research. You're watching closely, and his arm has a mobile muscle. Almost in fact, as if it were a waxwork. But you... The reaction only confirms my suspicions, madame. I noticed it at once, of course. Observe! The telltale sign that instantly proves whether or not this old man is waxwork. It's the Ogre's price tag. Rubens? A tragically low price, you might say. But perhaps the going rate for aging waxwork riddled with cracks. And yet you sold it to the poorly gentleman for an exorbitant £200. Yes, the sort of plucky behavior that's sure to attract the attention of Scorpion. Isn't that so, madame? I do not. Yes, the waxwork you sold has already been seized by the police and remains in their custody as we speak. The old man must be reunited with his grave in the special exhibit and not a moment too soon.
I love Sholmes because he's so freaking ridiculous.
This concludes Sherlock Holmes' great detection of this horrifying puzzle.
He's already ready with the wax and it's bubbling.
As if stunned you all into silence. You have, Hurley. You have. Aren't you probably upset this young lady in the process? Her coloring looks awfully hot.
If I could just bring up 1 point, Mr. Sholmes.
Ah, the notorious Naruhodo 1 point! I'm all ears, my dear fellow!
According to your deduction then, the special exhibit featured this old policeman. So that would mean that he's the particularly ruthless murderer, wouldn't it?
The killer policeman. Other mole.
Sorry?
It was a mysterious series of murders around the capital only last years. The police rushed to the scene every time, only to find the culprit had disappeared into the ether. And it turned out the culprit was a policeman himself, a senior officer by the name of Father Mole.
Do you mean that's the sinister-looking old man they're supposed to be?
Indeed, he has a particularly grim face, is it not? Unforgettable, in fact. Yes, I remember that odious countenance only too well.
But is £200 a lot of money for a wax model?
It will be enough to afford one of the latest steam carriages, if that puts things in perspective.
A whole car! So it is quite a lot then.
Is there anything else you wish to add? Before I melt you down.
That bubbling wax is looking more and more ominous.
The smell of all that molten wax is starting to worry me.
Mr. Sholmes did more or less just accuse her to her face, so I think I might have to call in your assistance here, Iris, if that's alright. Make some minor corrections to the Great Detective's great deductions?
Of course it's alright. We'll soon set things straight.
Well, let's get started then, shall we? Before Madame Toadspell spends her anger.
Just what I was going to hear, my dear fellow. So, Madame Toadspell, in accordance with our agreement, I'll now have the pleasure of seeing this family's great detective and temporary exhibit at work.
You already said that. But this time, going for real. Okay, most of the conversation is gonna be the same, so... That is all your money. What does it reveal? He looks to the right. He says that into the public notice, and this is where we have our first issue. You definitely look in this direction, it's true.
But I'm not sure she's selling me Oscar waxwork, even for £200.
Oh?
You must pour her heart and soul into making them, don't you think? Over and above the wax. If it were me, I wouldn't sell them for anything.
that much money, I would. But it sounds like that makes me a bad person. Well, anyway, I wonder if the £100 could have some other significance. Let's follow that further quest and see if there's anything else that could explain it. Waxwork for sale. Would anybody really buy models of mass murderers? I think I'd rather have £200 in my pocket. Exactly, you could buy one of those to brand new types of carriages. That's what I'd spend it on if I had one. Not question. Oh, I bet all the herbs in the world. There must be another explanation for it. We need to keep looking. The man. It seems this well-dressed man is alive after all. Just not alive and kicking. He's not a waxer of models of or a model of a mass murderer. I'm not sure I'd pay £200 for him. I don't think he's up for sale. Well, anyway, it was a silly place to put him. Other missing visitors could easily trip. I don't think the man was put there on purpose either.
Take that!
Really? The gentleman on the floor must know the significance of the £200. All we need to do is wake him, and we'll have our answer. With no need to do anything. Shirking on that nature will hasten the end of the world, Mr. Nobukudo. The end of the world? And there is a distinct possibility. The man has no knowledge of the money anyway. But do you cause the destruction of a planet, or continue with the deduction process? The choice is yours. Looks like I'd better get practice in the world then. I cannot believe that I failed on this one. Judging by appearances, this man and the £200 are in no way related at all. So the poor man was just in the wrong place at one time? There's no doubt that Madame Stillspot interacted with what Master Sean said. The way she automatically looked over this way must tell us something, I'm sure. Then let's have one more look around. Oh my god, I forgot about this. Oh! What's that note? What's that note doing pinned on the wall there? Yeah, let's see. Dear Madame Tuspels, we've taken the prisoner from this room. The price for his safe return is £200. What? Have the money ready by noon on the 23rd of October. What? Is this just like the sort of thing that's left behind when someone's kidnapped? This is a ransom note. Exactly. You can't deny that's a very well written ransom note, clear and concise. And the ransom amount is £200? I think there's no doubt about this.
Take that!
The significance of the £200 is revealed by the ransom note. Quite so, and we must congratulate these criminals on their inventiveness abducting a waxwork. Ah! £200 is no small ransom fee, yet you clearly intend to pay it. The model in question has a special importance. There it is! I finally found a good accent for her. So I put together all the money I have. In summary then, the £200 you have in your handbag is ransom money. Now, let us explore the next curiosity with which we are presented. Why is the portly gentleman stretched out so peacefully on the floor? It would appear the man has suffered a severe shock. Alright, here it is. There it is. So if the waxwork was kidnapped, where does that leave us in terms of who this man is? We could just ask him when he comes round. I think the point of this exercise is to understand the beauty of the deduction process, Iris. Yes, you're right. But he's trying so hard, so we mustn't let him down. Well, there's little doubt that he suffered a shock, that much seems clear. But in that case, what's Madame Tussauds trying to hide? Let's have a closer look around. Madame Tussauds has very long hair, doesn't she?
Yes, but you couldn't tell looking at her from the front.
You know, it looks rather like a whip, don't you think? Oh, really? Sort of whip got to have floored the gentleman with a single crack.
That seems a little far-fetched even for you, Runa.
She was prepared to pay.
She was prepared to pay all that money to get her wax work back again? Must really have been a very special mother.
Of a mass murderer. Just how special can a model of a ruthless killer be?
Well, anyway, we can be fairly sure the man is lying on the floor didn't take it.
I suppose we should leave him in peace. That's a different color. Wait, he's holding that.
This is just Madame Tussauds' right hand, isn't it?
Yes, it must be. I can clearly see her left hand.
But wait a minute. This is a left hand as well, look.
Don't say such creepy thing, Iris, please.
And it seems very stiff too. In fact, it's really hard.
You mean... made of wax?
Take that!
What dealt the man such a shocking blow was of course the waxwork hand.
Indeed, with a solid waxwork limbo, one could deliver a very substantial blow. Oh, good, Joe.
The hand protruding from the bottom of
Of your key. Or it ought to be a right hand, but closer inspection reveals that in fact it's a left hand. Oh,
and somewhat masculine as well.
in other words, it does not belong to you, madam. It is the hand of a waxwork model. Phew! Some of the visitors at my museum can be troublesome. They meddle with exhibits and cause damage.
So you mean that arm?
Yes, the gentleman saw fit to try to remove it as a souvenir.
No small keepsake. Like taking a whole branch of a cherry tree when you go to view the blossoms.
I'm afraid I had to teach the man a lesson.
He confronted the man and tried to take the arm back.
And the result, the scene that we see before us, he was shocked unconscious. Only we may need to revisit later, but for the time being, we have our conclusion. Yes, the killer in the special exhibit has been kidnapped.
That's insane.
The question that arises then is what has become of the waxwork that changed hands? Let us consider the problem for a moment. You cannot possibly. What immediately strikes me about this conundrum is the young man standing over there. Who is this fellow? To find the answer, we need to only observe his neckerchief.
According to Mr. Sholmes, the yellow neckerchief is a sign to other policemen that some crime is underway.
A way of communication with his colleagues without revealing his identity, yes. It's a secret that's closely guarded by Scotland Yard.
That Mr. Sholmes didn't hesitate to give away.
Covering secrets in any true detective nature, of course.
Right. Judging from Madame Tussauds' reaction to Mr. Sholmes' deduction, I think perhaps we might not have identified the man quite correctly.
I've seen hats like this in Japan as well. They're called flat caps, aren't they?
Yes, they're hunting caps. Well, this hat is it's called a deer stacker, by the way.
Hunting, stacking? The British certainly seem keen on catching game. Every time I see a deer stalker, I automatically think of Mr. Sholmes. But a flat cap makes me think of Japanese country gentlemen somehow. In other words, people from all walks of life wear all different types of hats, so that really doesn't help us. Secret scarf sign to warn other agents of an ongoing crime.
I know, it sounds so thrilling, doesn't it? I will try to work it into the next month's installment.
But then the police secrets will be revealed to all of London's 6 million inhabitants.
Well, they'll just have to come up with a new sign, I suppose.
How does this 10-year-old manage to have such terrifying influence? What the? The man has a stub sticking out of his shoulder where his arm should be.
Well, that settles that then.
Right, this isn't a real person at all.
The entire arm's been ripped off from the shoulder down.
His arm's been... Of course! That ties in with what we just found!
Take that!
Who is this fellow? And the answer we only need to observe his shoulder stock. No such bull as human walks this earth, or of that I can assure you. In other words, the man standing here, the young Sergeant John Clay, is in fact, defying all odds, a waxwork model! I seem to remember it was you who concluded he was a real person in the first place, Mr. Sholmes.
He has become quite a celebrity in London, being the winner of no less than 3 policeman awards last year. I simply had to make a model of the man.
Naturally, what other explanation could there be? And it was the detective's arm that was pulled off by the man on the floor in the special exhibit, was it? Next, we turn the attention to the old man set before him with the particularly unsightly visage. I've been watching closely, he's more a muscle, almost in a fad, if it were a waxwork.
But dear...
Your action now confirms my suspicions, madame. We noticed it once, of course. Observe! The telltale sign that instead of proves whether or not this old man is a waxwork is the obvious price there. I need to finish this already. A killer policeman? Paul Ottermole, was it? Is he well known?
It was all over the papers last year, but I can't say I know what he looks like. It's a very low price though. Rubens isn't much money.
Only enough for a few measly hours of gas in Mr. Garrett's delightful lodgings, in fact. So this is a special killer taken from the special exhibit? Is it? The waxwork that somebody stole from the museum and tried to ransom from £200. Is this crusty old killer policeman Ottermole really?
Perhaps we should have a good look around and see if another idea crops up.
3 pence? It's a far cry from £200, isn't it?
For 3 pence you could buy it and put it on display in your room, Bruno.
I think I'd rather not go sleeping watched by an old man if it's all the same to you.
This price tag does stand out, doesn't it? I mean, you couldn't even buy the helmet on his head for that much money, I don't think.
I wonder what the price tag's really for then. He's alive! There's a twitch! I don't believe it.
It's a secret sign that lets other detectives know some criminal activity is underway!
Yes, it's a slightly strange choice of an outfit if he was trying to go unnoticed.
Ah, he must be a detective disguised as a policeman.
Or a detective disguised as a waxwork model of a policeman.
He doesn't look like he's clever enough to think of something like that, though.
Perhaps you should try to be a little bit more polite about him, Iris. Especially because he's alive. Look at this! The old man's tapping his foot like crazy!
He seems to be fast asleep, though.
He's not tapping his foot consciously then? Do you mean?
It must be a Twitch.
Never mind, the point is the Waxwork won't tap their feet.
Or Twitch!
And look at his arm too. We've seen a scarf like that somewhere around here before, haven't we?
Take that!
Telltale sign that instantly proves whether or not this old man is a Waxwork model is the obvious twitch. Even the most realistic Waxwork do not exhibit a twitch. In other words, this is like the old man is in fact a junior member of Scotland Yard. Slight shift in your choice of adjectives then. And there you have it, Wilma empty spells. Well, what? It was me who contacted the police and demanded that someone come in first place. He's clearly fatigued. He's sound asleep. But then, what's this talk about showing a price of revenge? You have the price of the muffler, which with the old Bobby purchased at a local market. And I presume you observed the scarf tied around his arm? This note that's not strike you as odd, Mr. Nerubuda? Yes, the secret sign used by detectives to show that some criminal activity is currently undergoing. Of course, because as you know, there has been such a criminal activity happening here. Let's treat this from the very beginning, detective. So it would seem that we finally unravel the truth. The Waxwork of the specially ruthless killer from the special exhibit has been kidnapped! And Scotland Yard are already investigating. But the model's whereabouts remain a mystery. This concludes Sherlock Holmes' great deduction of this horrifying puzzle. Elementary. All sorts of people visit my museum here. Men and women, young and old. Sometimes they drop in just for a short time on their way back from the pub. I welcome them all. But if anyone tries to damage my exhibits, I do not take it lightly. Anyway. Your great detective was even more enchanting than I had been led to believe. Okay, I need to finish this. It was a pleasure, my dear madame. I'm gratified that you enjoyed the spectacle. And as for your rough customer, I've no doubt he'll regain consciousness shortly and return home. Wow, I'm really starting to drift off. What concerned me more is the Waxwork from the special display, if it was indeed genuinely abducted. Yes, tragically it was. And I would ask you to recount to us the events surrounding the stolen Waxwork, in as much detail as possible, if you please. Very well, but after I have told you what I know, I must insist that you return to your work. The talents of a great detective could be put to better use, I feel, but as you wish. I think that for now, that's gonna be more than enough. I've been doing quite a lot. This computer can barely function correctly with help. So for now, I think this is good. Let's see. Facebook. So we discovered quite a lot today. I'm gonna leave this for tomorrow, maybe. No. But I wanna keep doing this as soon as possible. I haven't taken a long time, and I do owe this for Perry, who gave me this game as a gift. It's been 2 years, and this is by far my favorite lawyer in the franchise.
I want to keep seeing Naruto's adventure. Right now, I'm starting to just do this. So I should just call it a night before I start falling asleep here and snoring in camera, because that will be very freaking embarrassing. So now, I'll see you next time. Thank you very much. And for now, let's see if my thing actually works correctly. Amimir. Exactly, Andres. It's almost been 3 hours of stream. If I keep doing it like this, it's definitely gonna be much better than before. Let's see. See you later, guys. Bye-bye.